Welcome to Strange Darkness Radio, where we explore the unknown and mysterious side of the paranormal world. I'm your host, Bobby Washington, here with Tony Carr. We are thrilled to introduce a new co-host, Frankee Franks. In getting to know Frankee, she's always had a long fascination with the paranormal and what's beyond the veil. I am confident that our listeners will find her insights and perspectives to be both fascinating and enlightening. For those of you who are new to Strange Darkness Radio, we cover a wide range of topics on the show, from ghosts and hauntings to UFOs and cryptozoology and conspiracy theories. We believe that the paranormal world is a vast and endless fascinating place, and we are dedicated to uncovering the truth about this strange and mysterious phenomena that exists beyond the boundaries of our understanding. With Frankee joining us on the show, I am confident that we'll be able to take our exploration of the paranormal to new heights. Her passion for the subject matter is evident in everything she does. I know that our listeners will benefit greatly from her contribution. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Frankee Franks to Strange Darkness Radio.
Yes, thank you. I am finally here. It's been a long time, but I finally made it.
Nice.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you guys.
Well, again, we are here. This is a start of a new season 2 for Strange Darkness Radio. And again, we have a new co-host. And so Frankee, let's get into, just ask you a couple of questions, nothing too serious. But,
okay.
What made you want to, join a paranormal podcast?
So before in the past, I never really talked about my experiences that I had because I thought I was crazy. But then once I started reaching out to people, they had similar experiences. So I just really wanted to be open-minded, listen to other people's stories, and share my own.
Okay, great. Tony, any questions for Frankee?
Yeah. Have you ever had like a demonic experience?
No.
Like a demonic presence?
No. Oh, yeah, all the time, every day. I feel like we walk amongst them every day.
Wait. Demonic presence? You have that type of experience, as far as feeling that, or what? Are you?
Yeah, just people you come across, in the neighborhood or at the grocery store, you could just feel it, it's like bad vibes, but me personally, yeah, no.
Okay. Have you, how about UFO wise? Because I know, in talking to you.
I have not. So that to me is kind of hard to believe just because I haven't seen it, So I'm really excited to hear what you guys are both.
So what do you think about like all these videos and stuff that's coming out of, UFOs and stuff like that?
I think it's planned by the government, but.
Well, hold on to that thought because we have the UAP report on the next segment. Yes, exactly. And so I'm definitely going to pick your brain about that because, I've had different type of encounters with seeing UFOs. So, and along with seeing, ghosts and different things. So I am curious on, your thoughts and views on that. But as far as the paranormal side of things, do you think, that society is more accepting now of paranormal activity based upon all the video cameras, all the things that are seen out there nowadays?
Yes, definitely. And especially with social media and TikTok too, a lot of people are, sharing their stories and, just think about, back then, like tarot cards were looked down upon and now everybody's doing like tarot readings and, all that. So I think we're in that age where it's coming out more. People are talking about it more. So, yeah.
Okay. And how are you with conspiracy theories? Are you like, no, the government, they mean well, they're here to take care of, they're.
So I do like my life.
Okay. She doesn't want that.
Have you guys ever watched the movie? It was 1944 called Gaslight. And then there's also a newer movie with Julia Roberts called Gaslit.
No, I have not seen those movies.
No, me neither.
I feel like us non-government people are just being gaslit and conditioned.
Right.
And,
So you're saying that you don't think it's real in the sense of on the conspiracy side of things, or
I think that it's real, and I think it's been around for a really, really long time, and they've hid it.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like they're bringing it out for a certain reason.
Oh.
I don't know. I just feel like there's a hidden motive behind it.
So the whole secret society thing, because I know Tony's heavy into conspiracy theories.
Yes. I want to hear yours.
Which conspiracy, what? You say you believe in conspiracies at some degree. Mm-hmm. What conspiracy theory that you like 100% believe in? Like I 100% believe this is true.
So I don't know, like a few years ago, I don't know if you guys remember where the CIA was holding back some files regarding astral projection.
Oh, okay.
You guys heard about that?
Yep.
Yes. So that, yes. Definitely with like the ocean, I've been really reading into that too. Like there's just like a whole nother world. Deep.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about that too a lot lately. Yeah.
Because what's that show with that movie with George Clooney that he played in where they were, in that not a think tank, but they were guys who can astral project and
Submarine?
No. It was a movie that he was in, something with goats. It's called something. Man, I know the public's screaming out there with
something with goats.
Yeah, it was with George Clooney or whatever, and they're basically a bunch of guys that were put together that can astral project, and they would be in this like room, and they would write down what they're seeing as they astral project for the military. It's something with goats. I can't remember. It's going to kind of pop in my head later throughout the show or whatever. But yeah. So it's interesting. All these things that are going on in this day and age, because the technology that we have, we're able to get more answers, even if it's for ourselves or what we hold the government to ask for these particular documents that were inaccessible back in the day. And so now people are taking the time out to ask these questions and to try to dig deeper. And doing this show, that's what I want to do, and I know we all are looking into. Because like I said, I mean, there's a lot that we're going to get into in this new season coming up. With the whole Denver airport and everything else. Like I said, Tony is the conspiracy theorist genius or whatever when it comes to, we got to ask these questions, man. So yeah. So yeah.
I don't think I even asked you like what conspiracy theory you believe in. That's 100% true.
That's 100% true.
Yeah, that you use, like nobody
that
can
you feel.
tell me otherwise.
That's what I was gonna say. Feel. It's more a belief because obviously I can't say 100%. But what I feel as far as Illuminati, I do feel that is a secret society that has been established for whatever reason. I forgot the group name, but there's a group of the rich elite that meet up every year to a secret compound, and they do their thing when it comes to setting the market and all that stuff. As far as money, I don't care if it's buying pork barrels or whatever. Off the stock market, but that all that stuff is basically set up to where they benefit from it, and the general public doesn't. So just that side of things. But so with Frankee joining the show, you can check out our YouTube site. It's Strange Darkness Radio. Again, Frankee, you want to talk about how we actually met?
Yeah. So, God, how long ago was it?
It was probably 3 months ago or something, or I don't know. It's been a while.
Had to be longer. I have to. So,
I believe it because I've been trying.
You're gonna have to help me with this story.
Yeah.
Because I only remember little bits and pieces of it. Okay. But we met in the metaverse, which I love the metaverse. I thought it was good, but then I hopped on one day and I was like, this thing is awesome.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
for those of you who don't know, that's the Quest 2, the Facebook Meta Horizons, is where we met.
Comedy.
Yeah.
And I don't remember how it started, but then next thing you know, I'm over here just basically telling you like these stories that I want to tell people, but people are going to think I'm crazy. And I'm like, and you're like, oh, I have a podcast. You should come on. And then I was like, yeah, I'll come on. But then I think I came up with every excuse in the book for like 3-4 months.
Exactly,
and then
man. She was dodging me like she was Michael Jordan. I was like, what is happening? But you'll be surprised on when it's time to get people to actually talk. And it's hard. I mean, it seems easy because when you're talking to someone and you're just having a casual conversation and then you mention like, hey, have you ever had something crazy happen to you that you couldn't explain? And then next thing you know, they start pouring all this information out and you're like, oh my God, that'd be a great story for the show. Uh-huh. And you try to get them on the show and they're nowhere to be found. It's crickets. But because people are, apprehensive about coming on and talking about it. But, once you get them to start talking and you're not recording, they're just flowing. Everything is like, just
weird
crazy.
How that works.
Yeah, it is. It is for sure. But
that's how we met.
Yes. And then again, once we sat down in the metaverse, you guys can check that out again on Strange Darkness Radio on our YouTube channel. It was a longer session that we actually recorded, but it started like breaking up and everything and glitching because I was recording it in the meta device.
And I'm in the basement.
Yeah, exactly. And but it was pretty cool. And I did, like I said, put that snippet up. But the story she told me, she actually retold it. And I'm going to go ahead and play that for you guys. Just one, you get to know a little bit more about Frankee and what, led her down the path of looking into the paranormal and saying, maybe there is something else.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely, that was the start.
Yes. So let's go ahead and roll with that.
So this story is actually, looking back now, it's not as scary as it was when I first experienced it. But actually now I think it's kind of pleasant. And I think it's kind of neat that I experienced it. And not only did I experience it with just myself, but also my son too. So that was pretty cool. Anyhow, so this happened probably, I want to say 2018. So it had to be like late 2018, early 2019. I do remember it was around winter time. And I just split with my kids' dad. And I remember I was so depressed. I just couldn't get out of bed. I was just a hot mess. And I remember it was a Thursday because my son came home and it was probably about, we made it through dinner and it was probably about 10 o'clock at night. And I felt really bad because, I was just like, oh my God, I feel like I'm not taking care of my kids. Anyhow, so he was up. He wasn't asleep yet. And I remember going through his backpack, trying to prepare him for the next day of school. And I realized that there was a few pages of homework left in his folder. And I felt really horrible. And, I was like, hey, son, since you're up, why don't we just go ahead and just do this homework? And, I kind of wanted to, touch base with him and whatnot. So we sat down and we were working on the work and we were probably about 3 pages in. And, during this time that I'm doing this, I'm trying to make it fun, joking, cracking jokes, because usually with my son, that's how I'm able to get him to do things, if I'm, cracking jokes and using humor. So anyhow, we were on the last page of homework, and on the last page of the homework was plurals. So that's what he was working on in his class. And I remember it said, write the word and then draw a picture. So it was men, man, woman, and I remember flipping over the page and I remember asking him, do you know the difference between a man and men? And he was like, no, what does it mean? So I drew a picture. So I said man is one, men is more than one. So each individual stick figure that I drew, now again, it's a stick figure, okay? So it's nothing fancy, but you get the idea. So anyhow, I drew a man, a woman, men, and women. Each individual stick figure had something, special about them. So I remember I drew on the women's shirt, they had apple bottoms. And I was like, ooh, she got apple bottoms on, she got boots with the fur. And then I actually drew a boot, like a cast boot on one of the chick's, leg, and she had a cane. I don't know why. This is just what I was thinking. I know this is probably sounding weird to you right now, but just follow along with me. So, then we eventually got to, the men's side, and I drew a cup of coffee. And this was back when, I think it was it Vines before TikTok? There was this one video he would watch all the time, and it was like, when you wake up, it's time for coffee. So, I remember I drew a coffee cup, and I was like, when you wake up, it's time for coffee. And then one guy had a briefcase, the other guy had a skateboard, the other guy had a bike. So I'm just drawing like all this crazy stuff, right? So I was like, we're done. And I'm like, you know what? Since we finished this and we're on a roll, let's go ahead and read that book that you brought home. Well, needless to say, I don't read to my kids that much. So for the fact that I actually decided to read a book is just really what, it's not something that I do. So he brought home a book, and we open it up and we're reading it. And it starts off with this mother who's at a train station reading a newspaper, and her child is like, hey, mom, look at this. It's a panda bear on the train. And she's like, yeah, okay, whatever. You guys are probably thinking I'm crazy right now, but I swear, just listen. So it started off at a train station, and this mom is sitting on the bench with her face in the newspaper, and the kid is trying to get her attention, like, Mom, there's a panda bear on the train. And the mom's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Just not really paying attention. And I don't remember exactly how the storyline went, but what I do remember was that what we both experienced together made me think, like, there's more to life, and I feel like we do manifest things in our lives. So I remember turning the page, and there was a skateboard on the page, and I was like, ooh, son, I'm like, do you know the difference between an illustrator and an author? Because that skateboard looks just like the skateboard I drew. It really didn't, because mine is a piece of crap drawing. And so, like I said, I'm trying to make it fun. And so we turn the next page, and there's a bike. And I'm like, ooh, that looks just like the bike I drew. It really didn't. So we turn the page, and there's like an old lady with a cane. And I'm like, oh, wait, that looks like the cane I just drew. So at this point, we're kind of looking at each other like, okay. And I go to him, I'm like, wouldn't that be weird if I turned the page and like the chicks were wearing apple bottoms? And we're like, okay. So we turn the page, and on both sides of the pages, the old lady had a tablecloth with apples on it. And then I remember she had a picture of apples on it, and her curtains in her kitchen were apples. Like, it was apples. And I'm like, okay, well, almost, not quite, but kind of similar, get the idea. So then, we're turning the page. So basically every page that we turned, what I drew on the back of my son's homework showed up in that book, like one after another. And I remember closing the book, and on the book was a panda bear and the panda bear's nephew and they're sitting on a picnic bench, and they're sitting down, holding their hands like they're meditating. And on the back of the book is the balloons with chakra colors. The title of the book is called Zen Ties. So I think that was kind of the beginning of my spiritual journey. And it was just something that was just amazing. I was able to experience it with my son. So I kind of took it as, like the beginning of the book. The mom was just kind of distracted and she wasn't really paying attention to her child. And that's just kind of how I felt, I was just kind of dealing with my own stuff. And yeah, like I thought it was really neat that I was able to experience that with my son. Sometimes I don't tell people that story because they're like, yeah, okay, you're crazy. Like, what are the odds of that? But, I believe that we are, we are in control of, our life. And sometimes we manifest things in our lives, whether we want to or not. So that's why it's very important to, remain positive. What you give out, you get. So yeah, I just thought that was pretty neat.
You're listening to Strange Darkness Radio, coming to you worldwide, broadcasting to all corners of the planet.
Man, that was a remarkable story. So give us a little bit more background on that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know where to begin. I mean, it was something that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was
like
it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
It has anything
when you
like
tell
that?
the story to people.
Go ahead.
You go ahead, Bobby.
No, I was just saying, has anything like that ever happened before, or after, since you had that incident?
I told him, I was like, please don't bring any more books home, but he does. And there was another one too. It was drawn together and it was pretty neat.
So it did happen again.
Yeah, somewhat. And I was just like, okay, this is crazy. But he was in, I want to say like first grade.
Yeah.
When it happened. It was actually really cool. Okay. And me and my son, we're a lot alike, and he's special in his own ways, and he kind of reminds me of myself when I was, younger. And that's another story too, because when he was younger, he used to always talk about a Gigi, a Charlie, and a Rico. Mm-hmm. And Rico was a dog, and apparently Gigi and Charlie were people that lived in our house who died in a house fire.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. Tony, what were you going to say?
That's crazy. Do you tell people the story? And if you do,
actually,
I believe you.
I never used to tell people, but when I did, it was like really close friends. But now I'm telling everybody.
That's good.
Yeah. Who cares? What people think. Yeah. You're the one who experienced it, so.
Yeah. My question is this: so when he had the book, did he see the book prior, or you drew this? Like, so he had the book at the house, correct? He got it from the library because it was like library day and they get to bring home a book and everything. And he always brought home books and I never read them. But this particular day, and that's why I was like, this is crazy because I don't read books to my children. Mm-hmm. So because I'm trying to think about this as like, how can this happen? As far as you obviously being able to see the future, or were you seeing something through his eyes, not knowing it, because he might have flipped through the book and saw these images, and then you're actually, somehow pulling that information from him. You know what I mean? Because
and I don't know, because we did the homework before reading the book.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I remember I took pictures too. I have a video too, because it was just so crazy how it went. But so I don't remember if this was the front. Can you see it? Probably not.
No, you gotta probably hold the thing up and then show it. Put your hand up and show it. For those of you who are listening to the show, she's showing us the actual images.
You can
which maybe
you can always send.
Go ahead, Tony.
You can always send it to the group chat, and then I could post it on Instagram so other people can see it. If you like.
Yes, I totally will.
We won't send
and
any
even
of
my
those
stick figure
Tony
pictures. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. But yeah, the apples, I was like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But every single page, just it was flipping over. And I'm like, okay, wait.
Wow.
At first it was funny. And then it was kind of getting creepy. And we were looking at each other like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be the adult because I was kind of freaked out.
Yeah, it could be a little telepathy situation going on there, based upon he, might have flipped through the book, saw these images, and then somehow you were able to, he was able to communicate that to you as you're doing your thing, whatever. I don't know. That's pretty cool. I think that's a really cool story. And Frankie has a lot more stories that we will eventually tell down the road. Just like myself, you guys gotta, again, go ahead and, call into the show and all that good stuff. And, we want to, you guys to be on the show. So call into Strange Darkness Radio hotline at 916-741-3032. Again, that is area code 916-741-3032. And if you're too afraid to call in, which you shouldn't be, you can hit us up at strangedarknessradio@gmail.com. And then we will read your story on the air and, tell it for you. So, but again, just, tell it your way, how it happened. Call into the show. Don't be scared.
Yes. True.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, Frankie is a new co-host on the show. You're going to hear her a lot. And, Tony, any more questions?
No, that's pretty much all I got. I'm gonna save some for later, but I don't want to be too long of just questions.
Okay,
right.
It's all good. How about you, Frankie?
I have plenty of more stories, but they're not as scary as Ouija boards and all that. No Ouija boards, no.
Somebody's been listening to the show. But
yeah,
they know Tony and Ouija boards. Which again, at some point we do have to do a Ouija board episode. I definitely been getting hit up about that.
I will not.
No, not do it. Talk because he's a Ouija board master. He's a seasoned. What do they say? You do anything for 10,000 hours or whatever, you become a professional at it. So
imagine. Man.
So yeah, so we have to do an episode on that. And if we ever do something that's really scary, we're still gonna try to get Frankie on board. Because it's very interesting. Because we do need to go and seek out a couple of haunts or whatever just to see what's going on. Whether it's even in if you Tony, if you feel you got a haunt that's going on in your house, nothing wrong with trying to record that audio. And all that good stuff. Another show I want to do, because thinking about, future shows, whatever, about the Divx box.
The Dybbuk box.
Yeah, exactly. So just
the Dybbuk box is right now is in Vegas at the Haunted Museum, the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum. The Ghost Adventures.
Have you ever watched? You've never watched Ghost Adventures? I used to watch back in the day.
That stuff freaks me out.
Well, you gotta.
There's some episodes that freaks me out too. Actually, there was one episode we was watching. I can't remember which one it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was so freaky. I kid you not. In the middle of the episode, my girlfriend's her medicine bottle picked up and hovered, shook, and threw itself. I swear to God, she was there. And she was like, "Turn this shit off."
Wow.
For months.
Yeah.
For months, she went to watch it with me. So she was like, "I'm not watching it." So I think like 6-7 months later, I ended up convincing her to watch it again. But yeah, she was freaked out.
Interesting. Well, again, hey, we have to, just tiptoe to the line, just to peer into the, the abyss on the other side to see what's really going on. But what's that, Frankie?
Into the darkness.
Exactly. Just don't go too deep into the darkness. But here we go. So you guys, let's get into the UAP report. So the UAP report finally came out, and that's basically they turned it into the new terminology for UFO. And we want to go ahead and play CNN's news clip, on that. And then we're going to get into some UFO talk. All right, here we go.
A Pentagon report is detailing a dramatic increase in UFO sightings, more than 350 since 2021. Many of them are explained as being drones, birds, or weather events, but about half of them remain unexplained.
And the office that tracks these sightings in restricted military airspace says that some, quote, require further analysis. That's an understatement. CNN space and defense correspondent Kristen Fisher has the details.
Boris and Amra, Capitol Hill has been waiting for this report from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, or the ODNI. And what this report found is that there have been more than 300 new sightings of what the government calls UAPs, or unidentified aerial phenomena, or more commonly called UFOs, since the last time that the ODNI put out a report like this back in 2021. Back then, the ODNI could not explain 144 sightings of UAPs. This time, now they can explain 171 of them. And one part of the report that really stands out is this one. It says that some of these uncharacterized UAPs appear to have demonstrated unusual flight characteristics or performance capabilities and require further analysis. So, is it advanced U.S. technology? Is it advanced technology from a foreign adversary like perhaps China or Russia? Or is it extraterrestrial in origin or something else entirely? We just don't know. And the U.S. government says that it doesn't know either, or at least it will not say so publicly in this unclassified report. But they did give some explanations for about 163 of the sightings that have been detailed in this report. And here's how they explain those. The vast majority are either balloons or balloon entities. A handful were drones. Another handful were what they call airborne clutter, things like birds, weather events, or airborne debris like plastic bags. So the bottom line here, members of Congress say that this is a step in the right direction to reducing the stigma associated with reporting sightings of UAPs. It's also a step in the right direction to enhancing national security because, remember, a lot of these sightings happen right around military bases or assets. But while it's a step in the right direction, members of Congress say the Pentagon, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, still have a long way to go to giving them the answers that they ultimately want.
All right. So here we go on the whole UFO theory and talk. But yeah. So Frankie, you think majority are balloons?
I was actually kind of leaning towards plastic bags, but yeah.
Dang, she's
I just
well, this is like Walmart and Target bags just flying through the air. People like, damn, what happened? But
oh my God, I don't know.
Tony, what about you?
Some of it is probably like balloons and stuff like that. But I mean, the ones that will move hella fast and stop, right away. Those are more, I guess, UFOs. But
yeah, those fall into that whole other category.
From a balloon, though.
What's that?
Well, like a balloon is just floating. Balloon just floats hella slow.
Exactly. That's why they separated them. The ones they can't explain with the flight characteristics that, like the Tic Tac, as far as being able to zoom out, drop, really fast and hit like Mach 10 on a dime. They separated those particular ones out as unidentified, unexplainable. And again, the government right now is trying to turn UFO, which was a terminology that a lot of people didn't really care for, especially a part of the government. So they came up with the whole UAP, which is unidentified aerial phenomena, because basically it's in the sky, right? And so they're saying they can't, that's a better term for it. Well, unidentified flying object is into the flying object, but that's a whole nother story. But my point in saying all that is there something out there that we can't explain? And, are we being visited, or has something already been here? Do I believe that? Yes, I do 110%. Only because of, one, the experiences that I've had, and two, I know damn well we're not alone. As far as how the scientists look at the galaxy, and from a technical aspect of how far we're into the past, into the future, in this Goldilocks domain, that things that are past us are like a light years as far as technology, and if there were other entities that lived on different planets that would be extremely advanced. Do I believe that we're the only living beings in the galaxy or in the universe? No way.
Absolutely not.
Period. Even if it's us coming back, from our future selves coming back to fix things, from the future, looking into the past. So I do believe that, it is an extreme, possibility. So again, is the government, is this a whole cover up type deal to where they're like, well, there's stuff out there, but there's also, these people who fly these drones and they're, in their backyard building this, saucer that's, I don't know, like the size of a go-kart, and they're able to fly at a high rate of speed and all that. No, because NASA and everybody would have already snatched those people up to, there would be some kind of scientific realm.
Yeah, and why are they coming now?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I did post a couple of stories on our Facebook fan page about, a couple of UFO scenarios. One was a scenario where they show an image, it's like a cloud, and they call it a UFO shaped phenomenon called a lens cloud. It caught the attention of the onlookers in Turkey.
I think I've seen that.
What's that? Yeah, but I'm not gonna tell people what it looks like because I sent it in the group. I was like, "What does this look like?" So we're not. You gotta go see it. You gotta
something, but I was like, I think that would be inappropriate. I don't think I should say that right now.
I thought the same.
Okay,
shit.
So we're all on the same page.
We are a mature rated show or whatever, but I still can't find myself to say it. All I can say is you have to go because again, I wouldn't want to say it. We have a female on the show or whatever. I'm not gonna go there right off the top. So you just got to go see it and whatever, and you tell me what it looks like. Maybe it looks like a seashell. Maybe I'll go with that.
It looks like a rose.
Yeah, exactly. What shape is a rose, though, Frankie? Anyways, but just go to our Facebook fan page and you will see the post, and you make your decision and tell me what it is or what they're claiming it is. Because I love it when they say, "Oh, this is a standard aerial phenomenon that happens throughout time or happens in the airspaces or in the clouds," right? Well, I've never seen that before. You know what I'm saying? Like all these years, I've never heard of that, never seen a picture like that, let alone the color of it. I'm like, if anything, that looks like what's that Jordan Peele movie that just came out?
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, Nope. Yeah, exactly. Nope. So is that some type of nope organism, in the skies? But Tony,
there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people too that's been seeing these clouds forming as like UFO aircrafts. Mm-hmm. I've seen a couple videos and I've read a couple of stuff that people has been seeing it, across the world, which is weird. It's kind of weird that happens.
Yeah,
it's not.
So do you think it's photoshopped, or do you think that the government is controlling the weather?
Oh well, yeah. I've always thought they control the weather. I've always thought that. Realm. Well, yeah, I've always thought they control the weather. They control everything, man.
You know what? The whole thing about the controlling of the weather, though, which, again, that's something else we have to get into, it was weird to me on how, okay, we have major drought. It's like, okay, can you nudge some rain over on this side? Or we have, tornadoes and just wreaking havoc. Or can you nudge some sunshine and some, make it like 90 degrees and clear outside? But, so who knows? Right. But again,
like you can tell the difference from fake clouds to real clouds.
How can you tell the difference?
Interesting.
Real clouds, like fake clouds, is like they're all like cotton balls, just like all stuck together and shit. And real clouds, you look at it, it's like all nice, it's all fluffy and shit. Like it just looks more together. Right. It looks more organic. And then the fake clouds, it just looks like it's just put there.
Yeah. Interesting. Interesting.
To me at least.
Yeah, exactly. I know you were looking into a story, Tony, you wanted to talk about as far as UFOs go. You were thinking that the government is just setting us up for, acting like
alien invasion.
We're being attacked.
I was about
Alien
to say,
invasion.
that's next.
Big alien invasion, which they're calling it the second invasion. I mean, not second invasion, the second coming. The second coming. Like Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay. I was about to say I'm going to have to ask you what was the first.
Yeah, the second coming to like Jesus Christ and stuff.
So why would they be doing that for?
New World Order. Just to get everybody to have one world religion, one world government. That's my belief. Huh?
It's going to backfire.
What do you mean?
If they do that?
Yeah, I would say so because religion's going to be thrown out the window. The minute is the alien, is that God? Is that, this being is supposedly more powerful,
So
the
what
technology.
do these aliens look like? Are they what we see on the movies?
Oh, we definitely got to take you down the rabbit hole. Like, okay.
I have been seeing like videos and stuff like that, and of people talking about like different type of alien species. Like this little girl is talking about like how she's like, in her past life she was an alien, and she came from this species. She came from here. They look like this. They look like that. And the name that she said that she was is common because I see a lot of other videos with those same names. I saw that video
actually.
It's weird. It's very weird.
Yeah, that's an interesting video. Yeah,
I do believe aliens are real, but I think when it comes to like us seeing shit, it's like probably more government than it is actual UFO. Because before
anything that I see a lot with the media.
Yeah, because before, even like 10 years ago, it wasn't, these UFOs was not popping up. It was, I just felt like back in the day you saw them more because there wasn't no phones, there was nothing to record with. You just, you just.
So wait. You're saying so back in the day there were more, aliens and UFOs being seen.
Yeah, more sightings.
I think there's more now, more sightings now with camera phones and everything else than there was back in the day because you were able to.
More legit, and now it's more. It could be more government that's doing it, and a little bit of the actual, aliens. I mean, UFOs, like real UFOs that's coming down.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So what do these aliens look like? Do we know?
Well, no. I mean, there are supposedly lizard. Aliens that are, again, already on the earth, supposedly, in government, positions and,
lizard people.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they call it like shape shifting. What if we, the non-government people, are the ones who are the aliens?
Well, I do believe that that's a scenario because, again, that's.
But I feel like everything that they're doing is starting to backfire on them because of social media, and people are starting to kind of wake up and share their stories.
Yeah,
and I feel like I know you guys are probably on TikTok, watch all this stuff, and they're like, oh, World War III is going to be kind of like a spiritual warfare type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's going to be the government versus non-government. That's what I think is going to be. I think it's going to backfire. I really do.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think regardless of what the government wants to, he wants y'all going to work tomorrow. So y'all can keep the, the government functioning or whatever. So whatever stops that is not going to be conducive to, the debt ceiling. So that's why I don't think in the sense of they're want to cause mass panic and whatever else. I mean, because at the end of the day, if something like that were going to happen and it wasn't, they were coming like, oh, we're friendly or we're this, it's like people are, going into hunkering down. I'm not going to work. Like, where's God at? You've seen all the movies. I mean, it's going to be chaotic and crazy. I mean, when, look what happens when a person is, killed by a cop or whatever. And next thing you know, we have cities burning. So imagine.
That's my city.
Yeah. So imagine what would happen if, we actually had contact and they're like, okay, we're here. Like, okay, well, what are you here to do? You know what I'm saying? So That's why I think the government would keep covering it up, all that good stuff. But with all this being said, I want to tell you guys my story of seeing a UFO or a UAP, but I'm going to stick to UFO. So let's go ahead and get it.
I like it that way.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Let's go ahead and get into my UFO story. I want to tell you about a UFO experience that happened to me while driving in Sacramento, California on 99 heading south. So it was a beautiful day. Clouds were out. It wasn't overcast. It was nice, fluffy clouds, blue skies. It was just a nice day. And so as I'm driving, I have the vehicle on cruise control and I'm driving. I think I was probably singing a song or something as I'm heading down the road. I look up and I see a black orb. To me, it wasn't small. It was like, from the distance I was seeing it, it was like, imagine a VW bug floating in the sky, right? But it was round and it was solid black. So I'm looking at this like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? Like, what is this? This object is totally round. It was leaving a cloud. Okay, heading, so I was heading south. So this was heading probably, I want to say probably northeast. And so as it's heading into this, it darts into another cloud. I'm like, okay, did I just see that? Like, what just happened, right? And then so I wanted to pull over, but I was, I wasn't able to. And, your first thought is to grab the camera. Let me grab the camera and start filming this, or let me, but it was just so like stunning to where I'm processing it. Like, what am I seeing? Like, what is this? Am I seeing this orb object fly from this cloud? Like, that's crazy, right? So it darts into the other cloud, like I said. And so I'm still trying to watch this, whatever, because again, everything's at a distance. So the clouds are separated to where next thing I know, this thing darts out of the other cloud that it entered. And as it darts out, it has a wake, like it's pulling some of the cloud along with it, right? And so I'm not seeing any type of propulsion system. I'm not seeing any type of wings or, any type of, thrust that would be coming from this thing, as far as to propel it. It's just a round object. And this thing just darts off, and it's not moving fast because it's like its intention was to enter the clouds for whatever reason, whether it was doing it for, some say cloud seeding purposes, cloud seeding to where object enters it, shoots something in a cloud, and whether it causes rain or doesn't cause rain or puts something in the atmosphere that some people say, which I'm not sure I'm, going along those lines with that. But, and again, anything is possible, but it wasn't moving extremely fast. It was just like it was just on its routine run of entering these clouds and moving forward. Now, again, I don't know if it was, using the clouds as cover as it moved about. And, so as it left the second cloud and left the wake of that cloud, it just kept heading. At this time, I think it started heading just north, it was going on its way. And I was like, what the? And so at this point, it's now behind me. And I'm just sitting there trying to process, what I saw. Because again, a round, black, solid object, right? It did not have any type of wings. It didn't have a tail. It was round. It was an orb. It was the strangest thing. So what I did when I got home is there's this website that you can go to and check, if anyone's seen a particular, thing in the sky at this particular time, this location, and all that or whatever. And I did check it, and there was multiple witnesses that saw a black object that was moving in the skies, and it was going in and out of clouds. So that was one of the UFO stories that I have and whatever. And it was so interesting to where it was just a matter of fact, because it was there. I was seeing it. It was solid. It was broad daylight, nice, beautiful day with fluffy clouds. And it was just, I'm going to go through these clouds and hope no one sees me, or it doesn't even matter if they do, they won't understand what they're seeing. Could this have been a UAP? Could this have been a drone? No, not at all. Unless the military has a VW size orb that, flies and patrols the skies, and, let alone a layman's person who's into, flying drones. No, this was not that. This was something that was just unexplainable as you think about it. But when you see it, it's like, okay, that's happening. So yeah, that's my Sacramento, California, driving down the highway of 99, heading south UFO experience.
You're listening to Strange Darkness Radio, coming to you worldwide, broadcasting to all corners of the planet.
So that was my UFO sighting, and it was pretty crazy because I really wanted to stop what I was doing and get out of the vehicle and try to just fixate on that, but I really couldn't at the time. And again, it was just going about its business like I was basically the opposite direction, and yeah. So, and again, I've have a bunch of other stories, whatever I'll eventually get to. But
that kind of reminds me of one of my stories. I totally forgot about that. I'll have to tell that another day.
Okay, just don't forget.
I think I might have seen a UFO or a UAP?
Yeah, but we're still gonna go with the UFO, unidentified flying object. But yeah.
Every night I come home from work, I'm always looking into the sky. Yeah. Just so hopefully I catch something.
Yeah. Well, see, but here's the thing. At night, you can catch a lot of stuff. You got to know what you're looking at, because you'll be, it's interesting how the satellites, move about, the sky and everything else. And like I said, here in Sacramento, California, we have Intel. And Intel, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but they have these drones that fly like a swarm of bees, and they do all kind of displays and different things, whatever. And they fly them out here in our local area. And if you saw them fly, you'd be like, oh, that's aliens, if you didn't know what was happening. But they do all kind of light shows and different things or whatever like that. But Frankie, in your area, is it more rural in your area? I mean, as far as, because we're light polluted with the city and everything.
Really? In California?
Yeah. You have to go into the mountains or whatever to get away.
Yeah, but it gets really dark at nighttime where you guys are at, right? Like when you're in the mountains.
Yeah, if you get out past the city or whatever, you won't.
Yeah, so I'm in Minnesota, so I'm in the cities, but when I did live in Duluth, it was more up north, and there was like no street lights. It would get pitch black. But yeah, so I don't really see anything. Minnesota's boring.
I don't know, but that's where, again, if you're talking about the government testing things and all that, you'll be surprised if you look it up. I guarantee you have a lot of UFO sightings in your area or around that local. Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I
gotta remember.
What's the website? Do you know?
No, just if you look up UAP reporting, you should be able to find it. Because I was actually looking at it the other day, and I forgot where I put it.
Yeah. I just Googled it not too long ago when I was listening to the story, and it looks like there's like 350 new reports of sightings. So they're coming to the woodworks.
Yeah.
So it's like, where do they live?
Yeah. No, exactly. So you mean where?
Do we know where they live?
Well, yeah. There's you have craft coming out of the water. You have craft that will fly, then go into the ocean. So who's to say?
Down in the water.
Yeah, which I think there's like a little base probably in the ocean, because there's a couple.
There has to be.
Yeah.
There's people that seen them going in, like, in the beaches around Santa Monica Beach in LA.
Oh yeah, and we haven't even gotten to that story about L.A. How they were shooting at the flat cannons were shooting at aliens or whatever. I mean, not aliens, unidentified flying objects, whatever at the time. And again, we'll get into that story, but I want to get back to that George Clooney point. I knew I would, come up with that.
Oh, the men, they're goats.
Exactly. See, exactly. There we go. Yeah. So that's about, being able to, astral project or whatever. And, it's the government, thing or whatever that they had going on. And, with experimenting on using the mind's eye to spy and to look into other countries and even do assassinations. So that's all, interesting things, whatever that eventually we will get into. But yeah, so Tony, now, I mean, do you actually believe in aliens, or you think it's more of a governmental thing to where, like the whole, Area 51 crashed to get the technology or whatever, and they, are able to utilize, the technology that we have going on?
No, I do. I believe 100% that aliens are real, for sure. And they have to be real. We're this little people, in this little world, but the universe is like, it's hella big. So I don't think we're the only ones here. So, I don't think I've had like a legit. Well, I think I've had like maybe 2 legit, probably
UFO encounters?
UFO. Yeah, I believe so. But it was kind of weird when it happened. So, my girlfriend's dad, though, he's had a ton of UFO stories.
Wow.
He's obsessed with aliens.
Where's he from?
Mexico.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, that's where again, you're able to see the sky clearly at night or whatever when there's not a lot of light pollution or whatever that you see, because and again, you got to understand too, whatever, when you talk about seeing things in the skies, back in the 40s, back in the 50s, and even in the 60s, all that before we had all these satellites and everything up in the air or whatever, there was a lot of things that were going on, that were unexplained. And a lot of people ask me on our outro, why do I have Buzz Aldrin on there? It's because Buzz has seen some things that he tried to talk about. He was shut down and said, oh, he wasn't taking his medication or whatever. He was, and everything. And he was supposedly having a senior moment, but I believe he was just speaking the truth about what he experienced.
It's very common for the government.
Gaslighting.
Yeah, it's very common for the government to sit back and say, oh, this person's on drugs. Don't believe what they're saying, but they're telling nothing but the truth.
Exactly.
So it's,
that is very true. Well, again, this feels good, man. This is, got a new team going on, getting ready for this new push into the second season of Strange Darkness Radio, which is a great, unbelievable start. I hope you guys think so as well. I know we have a lot of banter or whatever, but we'll stay on track or whatever as time goes. And Frankee, she's going to be having her news segment as we go forward, to where she'll be able to, things and questions that she has, and she's able to, dive into. So she has her, little segment happening, and then Tony with his conspiracy theories or whatever. We have a new little. We had a interesting caller, and we had to go ahead and put that into play or whatever, and make a show bumper out of it. Was it a new caller, or was it just a show bumper? You guys will hear it. You'll know what's up when you do hear it. But yeah, no, great show, you guys. Great show. Really nice, and getting into the inquisitive side of things or whatever, and trying to find out what's going on. But again, as time goes on, we have new things in play. We might have some new things. Let's just say new things as we go forward on the show. And, that's going to be it. You guys got any parting words for the public out there?
I'm super excited to go down the rabbit hole with you guys. I am.
Yeah.
I know you guys are going to teach me a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to feel like my whole life has been a lie.
she's gonna get called.
Just gotta keep an open mind, because a lot of this shit that's going on, man, is it's all. I believe it's all for a purpose.
Ooh,
it's all for a reason.
What is that purpose, though?
Exactly. What's the long game?
The question. He said, "What's the long game?" Well, again, we will hopefully find that out somewhat together. If one of us gets snatched up, then we know we were on the right path.
You know who did it.
We may not know who did it, but we know we were close to something or whatever, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But so yes, again, you guys, we want you to, check out, the show. We want you to call in, again, hit us up at Strange Darkness Radio Hotline at 916-741-3032. Email us at strangedarknessradio@gmail.com. We want you guys to hit us up on Instagram at strangedarkness_radio. And then check us out on Twitter at SDR Radio. So it's capital S, capital D, R, and then radio, which is ADO. So it's SDR Radio, just for the record. But anyways, yeah, check us out and, leave your story and, we'll talk about it. This show was more dedicated to Frankie, new co-host. And
thank you.
You're welcome. And the UAP report. But as we go, we will definitely get back into the whole paranormal scene. But we want to, again, go a little bit deeper into, secret societies, conspiracy theories, cryptids, Dogman. You guys know about Dogman? We definitely got to get into that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we all, everybody talks about Bigfoot. We'll talk about Bigfoot. Don't worry. But we also want to get into the whole Dogman side of things and, all that good stuff. But I want to say we are out. Thank you.
Peace. Until next time.
Peace.
I am Buzz Aldrin, and I was the lunar module pilot on Apollo 11.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth. No single space project in this period will be more impressive to mankind or more important for the long-range exploration of space, and none will be so difficult or expensive to accomplish.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
The truth is that we've never proved one, but there are things flying around up there that we haven't fully identified yet. And keep in mind, there are basically 1 billion galaxies in an ever-expanding universe. I mean, you can't even get your mind around the sheer number of things that are out there.
People still take seriously trying to investigate and figure out what that is. There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are. We can't explain how they moved, their trajectory. They did not have an easily explainable pattern. When it comes to aliens, there's some things I just can't tell you.